step one of healing. But yeah, I just remember being like, oh gosh, really, I'm a shopaholic. Holy cow. Hey guys, welcome back to Stacy Lee DIYs. Today we're just going to chat a little. So I'm going to make this video about why I like thrifting so much. Because if you haven't noticed, I have a lot of thrift hauls on my channel. So I thought I would explain that today. So there are many reasons actually. So I first started really thrifting when I was in college. Like, I did a little bit when I was younger, but like I was a selfish little kid and I was like, no, I want new things, you know. In college I started to do thrifting because I got into, like, really into DIYing and stuff, and I found that you can find some really cool things to like do DIY projects with from the thrift store. So I first started getting into that. Like, I would go to the thrift store and find pieces of clothing that had really cool buttons on them, and I would buy the clothing just to take the buttons off and use them for headbands that I was making and stuff. So yeah, that's kind of where it all started. And then I realized that I could find pretty cool and decent clothes there, so I started shopping for clothes a little bit. And then once I got a job and had my own place, I thrifted for clothes a little bit. And I also started searching for like cool teacups, because I like teacups a lot and I love tea. And so I started looking for like cute teacups and like made a little teacup collection. Yeah. And then when I came to Panama, I really started to like love thrifting because there are quite a few used clothing stores here. So I started shopping at these stores because one, they were cheap, and two, they had better quality things. Like, there are a lot of stores here that have really cheap clothing, but it's also really cheap quality. So I found that I really liked the thrift stores here better for clothing because I could get name brand items that were like really good quality for $1, and it's awesome. Sometimes I even get stuff for 50 cents, so thrifting here is amazing. But also recently, while I've been here in Panama, you've probably heard a few YouTubers who do thrift hauls talk about this, but I heard, I think, 2 different YouTubers talk about this and made me want to watch it. There is a documentary on Netflix called The True Cost, and basically it talks about the fashion industry and like fast fashion and like the effects that fast fashion has on this documentary talks about like the effects that fast fashion has on the people who make the clothing as well as the people who buy it. You should watch it. It gets into a lot of detail. Anyway, so I watched that documentary and I was just like appalled by like all these like big companies who are using sweatshops, and I decided I wanted to try my hardest to not support those kinds of companies anymore. Like, so I plan to thrift shop, not only like to stay away from supporting companies who use sweatshops, but also because it is cheap and you can get really good stuff for less. So yes, I've decided I want to support secondhand shopping, thrift shopping, charity shopping, however you say that where you live, and also support companies who are trying to make a difference. Companies who employ people in other countries and treat them fairly and pay them fairly, different things like that. Also, companies who are using recycled materials to make their products, I think that's really awesome, because, like I said, this fast fashion is not only harming people, but it's also harming environments with all the chemicals that they use to make the materials, to make the clothing, and all of that. It's not good for the environment, not good for us, and I don't want to support something that treats people unfairly. Like, they're people too. How would you like it if people in your country were treated in that way? You wouldn't like it too much, would you? But also, another reason I like to thrift shop is, and another reason why this movie really spoke to me, I will admit, I had a shopping addiction for a long time. I don't know exactly like when it started, but I remember I worked at Vera Bradley, and I really liked their stuff, and so I bought quite a few things while working there. Like when I stopped working there and I like looked at all the stuff that I had, I was like, holy cow, I spent a lot of money on Vera Bradley. But not only that, like, I worked in a mall, so after work I would, you know, go shopping at different places. Forever 21, Victoria's Secret, Rue 21 was in that mall, Charlotte Russe, different places, and I spent a ton of money, guys, and half the clothes I like never even wore. But I realized one day that I had a shopping addiction when I accepted the fact that a lot of times when I shopped because I was angry or sad or like, you know, upset about something. Like, I would just be like, you know, I've had a bad day, whatever, I'm gonna go shopping. Yeah, I remember talking to my manager actually, and I don't know how we got onto the conversation or how we got onto that topic, but I remember being like, yeah, you know, I do have a shopping addiction, because I shop to kind of make myself happy when I'm not feeling happy, and I think that's step one of healing. But yeah, I just remember being like, oh gosh, really, I'm a shopaholic, holy cow. So, I mean, not as bad as a lot of people. Like, I was able to pay my rent and gas and food, stuff like that, but I should have been saving for coming to Panama, and I wasn't. I blew all my money. Yeah, and I also ended up getting a credit card, and I did really good with it at first, and then, well, yeah, so still working on paying that back. But yeah, so having a shopping addiction can get you in trouble. And then watching that video, I was like, oh man, like, I've been like falling into this fast fashion thing, like, oh well, that's out of style now, so I need to start wearing this, and I ended up with a ton of clothes that like I only wore a few times, or like I never even wore at all. And yeah, I ended up giving half or more away. Yeah, so I don't know, thrift shopping is cool, and because it's cheaper. I mean, you can't really get into too much trouble with thrift shopping, and now I've kind of like I've been kind of trying to make it like a business too, because, you know, I buy things not only for myself but also to sell in my online stores. And yeah, so I'm a recovering shopaholic, guys. Yeah, so if you find yourself in the same situation, like shopping too much, and feel free to tell me about it. I'd love to hear your story. Yeah, so I'm gonna end this video now because I'm just like rambling on and on. I hope you found this kind of informative, and yeah, share your opinions down below. I'm okay with that. We can all have opinions, just be nice about it, be polite, be respectful. Alright, so I will see you guys in my next video, which will be tomorrow, because I'm uploading videos every day for the month of January, so be on the lookout for upcoming videos, and thumbs up this video if you enjoyed it. Comment down below what you think about the documentary The True Cost. I definitely recommend you watch it because it's very informative. Great documentary. I know it's changed the lives of quite a few people. Any other comments you have, leave those down below as well. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye! What the future holds now is uncertain, but I know He is guiding me, and I will follow. Lord, here am I. Send me.